Good morning. I wanted to talk to you guys this morning about something that's really important when it comes to barbell training and weightlifting, and that is shoes and what kind of shoe you wear, because I see people in the gym all the time not wearing the correct shoes when they're lifting, and this is something that I have to talk with my clients about a lot. So I thought I would share with you guys some important tips when it comes to barbell training and what kind of shoes you wear. So for some reason we think about this with everything else, like running, and people get running shoes or cross trainers, but they don't think about it a lot when it comes to weightlifting. So a lot of times when I see people in the gym, they're wearing something like this. Okay, some kind of runner that is very cushy at the bottom, very flexible and bendy, and this is what they go to do their squats and everything else on. And the example that I'll give my clients is, this is like if you were to put a pillow under your feet and then go and try to squat off of that, right? It's this very cushy surface. And so what happens is it doesn't give a lot of support or stability to the foot. And the foot is really crucial when you are, especially when you're doing all of the lifts, but when you're squatting, when you're deadlifting, your foot needs to be able to engage and push through the ground to drive your body up out of the bottom of the squat. And so when you're squatting on a pillow, you don't have a lot of support and your foot can't engage the ground in the right way, okay? So these are not good shoes when it comes to weightlifting. So they make a shoe, they're called lifters, and they're made for lifting in, and that is what I would recommend to anybody who is doing barbell training. It looks like this. Okay, you see me wearing these. So this is a lifter, these are Reeboks. I've had these for, I don't know, 2 years or something like that. They have an elevated heel, and you can see here, like, the surface of this shoe is super hard, and it gives you that engagement of your foot to be able to drive and push into that hard sole. It also has this elevated heel because that just puts our body in a more optimal position, especially for squatting, okay, to help us get into that full range squat. So you have probably 1/2 inch of a lift on the back of this shoe. Okay, the other important part is this metatarsal strap, which goes over the top, okay? So that's gonna be different even compared to, you know, just like maybe a flat or hard surface shoe. Well, I'm gonna take it off my foot. But like this, okay, so I wear no bulls. These are what I wear, you know, when I'm working. And if I am doing some kind of more high intensity workout, you know, I'm gonna wear these. These are good because they do have a hard sole. They don't have as much cushion, and they're flat instead of, you know, this pillowy, archy surface of like a runner or something like that. But you don't get that metatarsal support that you would get in a lifter. And so sometimes what you'll see when people are squatting, for example, is if you've ever seen someone who, when they squat and they come up and their knees cave in, right? And so sometimes you get this pronation of the foot where they kind of like lean into the arch, and the arch is starting to flatten out in the foot. And that can put your knee in a really compromised position when you're squatting. So this metatarsal support, the metatarsal being the bones that run down the top of your foot, helps to keep your foot in place and not allow for as much of that, you know, movement and pronation at the arch, okay? So you can find these. I bought these off of Amazon. And the great thing about lifters, they're expensive. Like, they might be anywhere from like $150 to $250. So it is an investment in your lifting. But just like if you're a runner and you know that those shoes are important to protect you, to protect your feet, to protect your joints, it's the same thing with weightlifting. And the good thing about lifters is you go to the gym, you put these on when you're lifting, you take them off when you're done. You're not gonna be walking around in these, you're not gonna wear them out to the parking lot. So they last forever because they just don't get as much use as like your other shoe that you might wear out in 6 months to a year. And so again, I've had these forever. Like you can see here, well, let's see, can you see? The sole is still like incredibly, you know, held up very well. Yeah, so, you know, it's an investment that will last you a while if you use them correctly. Only wear them when you're lifting, take them off when you're done. So this is important. You'll see in some of my videos with my clients that they'll be barefoot. And you know, it's like sometimes when people start training with me, they're not ready to make this investment. And that's understandable, but I can't have them lift in that soft, cushy runner, okay? It's just not good for their knees. Oftentimes they don't get a good drive out of the bottom of their squat. So I would at least rather have them barefoot where their foot can engage the ground than in that shoe. But this is your best option right here.